Fuseboxes, fuses, Range Rover Sport L494. So we're going to do a little video and show you where the 3 fuse boxes are. So Land Rover love fuse boxes as much as Dan loves whippets. So they've got 3 fuse boxes, and so I'm going to show you where they all are. I'll show you where the information is on what fuses do what. We'll show you what type of fuse is fitted to these because they're not quite the same as other ones I've come across. And we'll show you a spreadsheet that we've put online, and we'll put a little link to it. Do the little pointy thing. Oh, we ain't got enough hands. I'll hold that. Look, there you go. Do the little pointy thing, and we'll put the link at the bottom in the description, and you can click on that link, and Dan's done a really good user-friendly spreadsheet where you can look up and hopefully find your fuse, but we'll go through that at the end. Right, fuse boxes, quick point. There's one under there. We'll have a look at that in a minute, hiding under there. Right, there's one. Now, I'm sorry to my American friends, we've got the steering wheel on the wrong side, but on your passenger side, there's one hiding under there. We'll have a look at that one. And then, if we come around to the back, there's one hiding there. Oh, we haven't put that back together. We'll put that back together and pretend to, but you can see him there. We'll show you how to get to that. Right, let's start on the front, shall we? Right. So, front. Generally, it's the engine-y sort of stuff hidden in here. And this is a real pig to get to. So you've got these funny little fixings. Now, you're supposed to be able to spin the top, and they're supposed to sort of undo, but they're sort of a bit weird. So you're supposed to be able to undo the top, and they come out like that. So you've got 3 of these. They're pretty. I haven't put them back together that well. You unscrew them and pull them out. So you can see they're supposed to be sort of removable without needing a tool-ish. Yeah, that one's in a bit better. That's it. There you go. That one there. Right, and then that removes that panel there. Right, you think you're there, but you're not. Right. Now you've actually got to get this lid off here. You got enough light on that down there? Yeah. This car's a light, but you can't. You can sort of lift this up and get in. Now that looks like there should be an extra fix in there. That I've not put that one back. I don't know. I can't see what that one goes into. Right. So there is also some little fixings that you need to. Let me grab a screwdriver. So you can get a bit more access if you remove these. So if you hold, again, they're these plastic rivets that, as you can see, I can push. Go on, he's not having it, is he? They're completely defunct, those. Let me see if I squeeze the bottom, give it a bit of, oh yeah, that might work. I squeeze that bottom. No, that's not going to work. We're going to have to just, we're going to get those out. We're going to have to use a trim tool to get those out. Bear with. Let's have a go with one of these. So you should, in theory, be able to. Let me see if I put a bit of pressure on it. Well, no. These plastic rivet things ain't great, are they? Let me see if another one. Maybe that one's just being a pain. They ain't spinning out, are they, Dan? No. See, really, you want to pop that middle bit out. But let me just see if I can just brute force them out. Yeah. Okay, so if you can, I don't know how many times they work. You might be alright if it's your first time, but I've had these out before. In we go. Right. Right then. Not great those. Right, and that gives you a little bit more room to get that up. Right, so if we lift that up, right, and then we can see this, and you can see it's got the little fuse box symbol on it here. You push that in there, and the same on the other side, which you can't see. If we lift that up, that reveals a load of fuses and some relays in there. So there you go. So we'll do a little diagram of what fuse goes where, but you can see basically you've got your main fuses in here. Some of them will be missing. Don't worry too much. A lot of the ones at the start over here are for hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles and stuff. So don't worry. And obviously we've got a relay missing here. But generally these, no one's going to have taken stuff out. Ours actually has had some stuff taken, but generally it's just you're looking for something that's blown. So that's that one. Right, let's have a look. Where's the... Right, now we're going to do this, Dan, without me getting in the way.
I'll go around the other side.
You're going to go around the other side. Right, so this is the passenger compartment. Now, how are we going to get to that? Right, right, so we've got to drop the fuse box. So if we press the little button to drop the glove box, there we go. And then you've got two little bits you've got to press down. Okay, so on the side of the glove box here, if I get it right, yeah, that's good, thanks Dan. You've got this little bit you've got to press. Now, I'll show you why, and one on the other side, Dan's doing that one. Got that, Dan? Push it away from you at the top. And what you've got there is a little, you see, by pressing that, you press that little hook there. And that goes, let me just shine the light here a bit more. So that's what we're pressing in there. Okay, and that reveals, now that reveals a fuse box hidden at the back in there. Now, unfortunately, you can't get much better access to it than that. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a spreadsheet on, and we'll actually take a picture of this off the sofa car, so you can see a bit more clearly what you're trying to find and the pattern. So that's the second fuse box. Right then, you're gonna grab. Right, and then the last one, the third one, is in the back here. We've put the carpet back, see, look at that. Right, so you want to grab that down. So we've got to pull this little bit of carpet out here. Now, it's on some little tabs here, so the best way is to try and somehow grab it under this hook maybe. You can just about get your thumb in there and give it a sort of yank that way. Now, it's got a couple of clips here. These might be broken, we've just put a new one on here. It doesn't look like it's got anything in there, does it? Although it looks like that's where it's just welded together there. Right, so that exposes all these. Now, a little trick, if you're short for light, you can prise this little, they're not hard to get out, you can prise that little light out there. And look, do that, look at that. So if you're stuck somewhere at night and you need a little, because when you're trying to look in the fuse box, this light's blinding you. So so there we go, you can see you've got a selection of relays here and a selection of fuses here. You've also got some spare fuses up under here, if you can see those, Dan. We've got some spare fuses, so if you blow a fuse, they actually do give you, on every fuse box, I think on every fuse box, yeah, there's some spare fuses. So you don't have to go running to the shop. Quite interesting when you get a car to see if it's got the missing fuses, the spare fuses, or someone's robbed them already, which could be worrying. Right. So there are your three fuse boxes. Right, now let's go and have a look at fuse types, because I've not come across these fuses before. Okay, so fuses. So I used to think blade fuses were like this. I thought they were cool. I thought there's a revolution there. And obviously you can see they've got this little sort of loop in there. I don't know, can you see that in the camera, Dan? Yeah. Now obviously when they blow, that gets blown to smithereens, and there's a gap there, right? So then I thought, oh look, they've got microblade fuses, and I thought, oh, they're all new. But on this Range Rover, I had to go and buy some off Amazon, because they've got this type here, which are called Micro 2. But they've got quite long legs, and they're sort of thin together there. But they're not these, which are some other micro fuses that are even smaller again. So you've got to get the right sort of fuses. So to make it a bit easier, I have got this diagram here of different blade fuses that you can get. So the type you want here is this one here. Is that a three-legged fuse? My goodness me, I've never even seen those. But this is the mini fuse, but this is the one you want. So they're quite it's quite distinctive. The legs quite close together and quite long. Right. I've put this online. So this is the document that we've created, or Dan's been working on. And let's have a look. So what he's created is a little document like this. So here you've got a diagram of a photograph of the actual rear fuse box. One thing we didn't talk about, and I will here, is there should be a little tool here. And this is, you can use this tool, pull it out the fuse, and it's got a little grip at the end, and you can grip the fuses to pull them out. Right, so what Dan's done here is he's created this, and this is a visual representation. Then he's got the fuse number in here. You can see fuse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what fuse should be fitted. Now this is going to be slightly different on most cars, but we've gone off the handbook here. And then what you've got here is a list of the fuses. Let me just zoom this in a bit. A list of what they do. So fuse 1 is electric seats. Now, rather than looking through this, if you've got a problem with your heated windscreen, what you can do is, if you're on your computer and you press Control F, it will bring you up a little search box, and you can put in here windscreen, and it's telling me it's found 1 of 1, and it's coloured it in green there. So if there was a problem with maybe my diff's not working, if I go diff, it's got 1 of 1, and it's coloured it in here. So fuse 36 is the rear diff fuse, and then I can look along here, fuse 31, 32, 36. So it's this bottom one in this second bank. So if you look on here, because you've got 1 bank, and then it'll be this one here, which isn't shown one here, and it should have a, well, there we go, actually it hasn't shown one fitted, but that's what I've got out of the handbook. So if you've got your handbook, so if you're stuck in your car, and again you want to double check what we've written, if you go to the back of the book somewhere, tyre approval, technical information, it was in here, wasn't it? Down technical, let's pay $290.
Yeah.
Sorry, tyre fuses. So there we go. There'll be a section on fuses, and it gives it all. So passenger compartment fuse box, fuse number, how many amps it's rated, fuse colour, and what it is. So we've just copied this onto the spreadsheet. So hopefully it will help you out if you haven't got your handbook or you're stuck in by the side of the road. One last thing for those that are watching. Right, actually there's 2 little other things I've got to show you. I'm rambling. Right then, under here there's a little secret piece of paper. Look, under here. If you can get down and have a look, and it's there, and it has got a diagram there. Let me get that there so people can see it if they need it as a reference. So you can see there all the different fuses there, but they sort of didn't make the paper long enough, so this bit is actually the ones there. So that's why we've tried to do better, right? Right, another thing then, and likewise by the same logic, on the engine one, when you remove the fuse box lid, on the underside there's a diagram, and it's sort of in that orientation, showing you where the fuses are there. Now, where did we get to on the passenger one? Did we ever find out where the one is on the passenger one that tells you?
I think it was on the back of the lid.
It's on the back of the lid, is it? Oh, is there a lid covering it all? Oh,
no, that's...
Yeah, no, that is. Sorry, we didn't show you this. So when you go in there, there's actually a lid. Oh gosh, that's an omission. Look. And you have to press that to release it. And then inside, you've got a little cheat sheet there, again, that shows you what the relays and the fuses are. So we'll copy all this anyway and put it all on a spreadsheet so you're not looking around for bits of paper. But sorry, I did forget that. That is covering the fuses when you remove the lid. Sorry. Right, hopefully that's helped someone with your fuses. Good luck with that. Any questions, just drop us an email or ask us a question on YouTube, and we can update the spreadsheet with any missing information.